you wanna kiki? Do you want to?
Do you wanna kiki? Do you wanna kiki? Cult Wannakiki, Cult Wannakiki, Cult Wannakiki, 1, 2, 3. Cult Wannakiki, Cult Wannakiki, Cult. Okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
Hey, have you bought our t-shirt yet? Seriously, go buy our t-shirt. It's gonna help us out. Just hit that QR code and you get it, right?
Ooh, welcome to Cult Wannakiki.
Ah!
Oh, it's us, and we're here for the Crafty Beever, and we have a guest.
Beef.
Big beavers. Are
That's
you
right.
ready?
Eating wood.
Yes, eat that wood, honey. All right,
Right.
it's time for the reveal. It's me, Hillary Yaas.
Hello, it's me, Clinica Deprecious.
Yes.
All right, are you ready to introduce our... Oh my God, she exploded. Anyways, let's introduce our guest for this evening. It's the one, the only, Wilma Fingerdoo.
I don't know, Jorge. This lipstick's a little crooked. It looks like I've been out sucking.
Hi,
Hey, dolls, it's me, Wilma Fingerdoo.
Wilma, you're on our show today.
Hello.
I'm excited. I have on fresh underwear. I zhuzhed. I'm ready to go.
Oh my God, we're so excited to have you here at Cult Wannakiki.
Very surreal.
Also, make sure to go and subscribe to this channel because subscribers and followers really help us out a lot. Give us a chance, man. Yeah, even buy my Hillary Yaas shirt, baby. We had to have you on. We had Ms. Kitty Litter ATX, who helped to review a lot of the seasons of Camp Wannakiki. You bitch, you reviewed our season. How dare you? No, thank you so much.
You know why? I was getting emails, some from you, saying I was on season 4 of Camp Wannakiki, which
Oh, that's true.
I drink, but I would have remembered at least one day at camp. Do you know what I'm saying? And so I went to their website, and it was you, and I was like, either all Canadians look alike, or I should be thoroughly insulted, or regardless, it was like, oh, it's Hillary going to be on. So I, of course, had to watch it. And I'm sorry, I can't watch anything without recording my opinion, because why else watch it?
So you liked it, is what you're saying. You
Yes,
appreciate it.
I did really. And I have to say, you two specifically, because you were the winner and runner-up. Like, you're the high water mark of season 4. And you two were, I mean, Hillary, I didn't want you to do well just because you were Canadian. I wanted you to do well because you're Canadian and don't embarrass us. Clinica. No one could have seen you coming. Gee whiz, each week. Like, if I had been part of the cast, at some point I would have just kicked you in the shins and walked home. You know what I mean?
I tried.
When you ordered the ambulance, you said, if you happen to see a mime on the way into camp, just
Put
mob
gas,
them.
push it, step on the gas, step on the gas.
It was so fun because I think, Hillary, you and I kind of shared this sensation of every single time he was ready to go for the talent show, we would walk up, see each other's outfits, look each other up and down, and then everyone else would look in the room and see the two of us and be like, fuck!
Yeah.
You watched Camp Wannakiki beforehand, or was this when you first got into it? Well,
No, I watched season 1. I remember when it started, because I remember at that time lamenting that there was nothing else to watch but Drag Race. Now, at that time, Drag Race wasn't sucking as hard as it is these days. But I think Dragula had just started.
Yeah.
And there was starting to become this like, oh, okay, we can do other things. I think House of Drag from New Zealand with HIIIIII and Anita Wiglet had already been done, but was just airing on MTV.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there on YouTube was this, first of all, I know Hamburger Marys. If you're a drag queen, you know Hamburger Marys. Even if you're not American, you know Hamburger Marys. And the Sugar Baker twins, I thought it was such a great idea. And I love that they, like, because Hamburger Marys, we had a restaurant in Toronto called Zelda's that was kind of a model off of Hamburger Marys. And we ended up losing the restaurant because of rents and things like that. It was awful because it was such a great place to get drag queens. And, you know, it was like a trailer park was the theme. So with with Hamburger Mary's, I feel like it's the same kind of environment in there. There's some hard drag and there's some great drag.
You have been a little bit out under the weather lately, and we're so glad to see that you are back. Are you
Thank
feeling
you
better?
very much. Yes, I was in the hospital for a month. Right
my
when
gosh.
Drag Race All Stars 8 started. What had happened was, through COVID, like for 3 years, lockdown and all that, I wasn't going out or anything. And I had developed type 2 diabetes. And I was just in my apartment, and complications started, and I had to go to the hospital, and that's where I ended up. And it was just a perfect storm of ignorance. And I'm not insulin dependent. My blood sugar actually is apparently quite good.
Good.
Yeah, like I don't eat a lot of crazy stuff. Like I'm a big girl because I like to eat a lot. If I'm given the choice of moving or eating, I'm going to eat every time. But
all I gotta say is, Wilma, we're glad that you're feeling better, and we all
thank
love you. I'm sure the Camp Wannakiki
you
community.
both were so lovely. You sent me messages on Instagram, and I want to thank everyone who did, because every message was fabulous. I tried to respond to everything, even if it was just give it a heart. But
okay, enough with the schmaltzy bullshit.
All right, back to the cult of Kiki.
Yeah, get into the cult, baby. All right, let's get into this episode. It's episode 7 of Camp Wannakiki. It's the Crafty Beever episode.
Ooh. Crafty Beever.
Crafty Beever.
Oh
this
gosh.
is
and
always...
they skipped that for our season, and they brought it back at this one.
Yeah, the closest we got was a puppet show where we sort of...
That's right. That was pretty crafty. That was pretty crafty.
When they were a fun little bit of tea, they filmed us actually pretending to make the puppets themselves, but they already had like the molds made for us.
Don't tell them. Don't tell them.
The sad thing about that, Clinica, is that on some level it lets you know that production had no faith in any of you.
Okay, so this episode starts off with, of course, one of these wonderful scenes, which are getting so much better. Do you agree, Wilma? These are not bad. Come on. This one is about recycling. It's not the best one they've ever done.
What was great about it was Blue Hydrangea. She sent me a note when I was in the hospital, because we're like this.
Yes.
This is
and Blue Hydrangea makes an appearance. She is the she is the what's old is blue recycling and plastic surgery department lady.
Right. Because the girls, the twins are backed up on the plastic jugs.
Listen, whenever the sugar bakers go to a con and I see them getting a picture with the Rue Girl, I'm just like, when's she appearing?
Seriously.
Yeah.
I think all of their scenes would be so much funnier if we swapped out the laugh tracks with like audience groans.
Or the camera crew going, for the love of Christ.
Just like they tell a particularly egregious pun, and the audience is just boo, and they just like smile and keep going.
Yes, a boo.
You're as dry as your hamburgers.
This whole scene, though, is to set up the fact that they've got the campers all together in the arts and crafts room.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Ruthie is going to get them to turn old milk jugs into planters for plants.
I have to say, I was really impressed with how diverse they all were.
So where Riley did the African mask theme and talked about how they cry all the time.
Yes.
I think that was my favorite one.
It was so cool. And Texas is having limbs, and Muffy's looking so photorealistic. Like, Muffy's just looked like a real person with a lot of plastic surgery.
Okay, but Muffy... of course, Muffy, when given the assignment of doing a planter, they decide to do it of themselves.
Of course.
I thought Tara's Ruthie was really cute as well.
Yeah, that was cute.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't even know how to go about judging this. They all went in such different directions.
What was with Rita's weird garbage demon thing? It was... I don't know
what was that?
I don't even know. It was a purple
She said,
thing.
I have a brand, baby!
We do find out the winner later in the episode turned out to be Riley Poppy Seed,
Yes.
which I think was a huge advantage in the talent show. Of course, this is not the only challenge of the episode. They did all this arts and crafts. You have to understand, when you're at Camp Wannakiki, there is no time.
None.
And they decided to, of course, say, we're going to do a whole Crafty Beever challenge today. And I was very nervous because Crafty Beever on Camp Wannakiki always results in a lot of crappy looks because there's not enough time to work with proper materials and sewing machines. So I was so happy to see that they are going to create a recycled like non-traditional materials look, because you can do so much more interesting stuff with hot glue and plastic, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Thought it was a great idea to have them make an outfit without it being a sewing challenge.
I think Crafty Beaver is a very important challenge to have, because if they give you critiques on your looks throughout the season, you packed what you packed. So Crafty Beaver is the opportunity to do something different and show that you've been listening to critiques.
You know, on Drag Race, the Drag Race girls, they always hate this challenge, the like dollar store bargain bin thing. They're like, oh, how can I make this look glamorous? But on Camp Wannakiki,
how can you hate that challenge? I love that challenge. I walk by a dollar store and my heart, we should go in.
Well, that's the thing. Like on Camp Wannakiki, we shouldn't hate this challenge. We should be so excited by this because it's so camp. Look at me right now. I'm wearing pool noodles for earrings.
Yeah.
Are you really? Yeah.
Yes,
wait.
I
What's your fascinator?
This is a little bit of foam that I clipped together with a safety pin.
Reminds me of your Pride look.
I mean, look at you, Clinica. You're dressed in pom-poms and an upside-down hat.
Listen, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees.
And can we talk about the fact that you stole that hat from Riley Poppy Seed's look?
What? This? I made it myself.
Is that
What
the original?
idea did you ever get that I stole this?
We haven't even talked about that part of the challenge yet, and now we're spilling tea.
Guess what? In walk the hikers.
Oh,
yes.
That's right.
Right.
Okay.
Minus Avery, though, because Avery is still resting after the previous episode.
Yes, that's the thing. We didn't get Avery Goodname, which is so sad. Wilma, you were saying before the episode how much you loved Avery.
I did. Yeah, I was really impressed. When I first saw pictures of Avery, I wasn't sure what to think. And I thought she did so well in the roast. Of course, she was also the first person in the roast. And I noticed she had to came in, and then I noticed she didn't. You know, because that was how I felt about you, Hillary, when you hurt your knee. It's like, at what point did they come up to her and say, we can't let you hurt yourself anymore?
Yeah.
Agony, you know, but you're Canadian. You put some ketchup on it and then get back out there.
That's what we do. We heal ourselves with ketchup. If any Americans are wondering, our healthcare system is also our ketchup industry.
Is that what poutine is?
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't get Avery, which is too bad. So, of course, is one of the campers going to be at a disadvantage, I thought. And no, who other than Season 3's Vivian Vendetta St. Clair with the bicycle helmet and all walks through the door.
Funny. She's so adorable. She's so adorable.
Now, Vivian was on set, I think, helping, so thank goodness she brought her
She
drag
was
with
there,
her.
right.
Yeah. Well, listen, when Vivian wasn't wearing the helmet, another camper was.
And as if there wasn't enough surprises already, then in walks Clinica fucking Deprecious.
Hello! Hi!
There you were.
I was watching this episode and I was like, I don't remember any of this.
Reigning camper.
The reigning camp sovereign themselves, Clinica Deprecious, walks into the room to say that they are helping judge
Yeah,
the
it was
whole
so lovely to
thing.
see you there. I wasn't expecting to see you here today, so when I watched the episode, it was like, oh, I love Clinica. And it was just nice to watch, and here you are again. I love you.
Thank you. All the trash that I was bringing in, those were just my belongings. I thought I was moving, and they just pulled me aside and said, "Can we borrow all that?"
Yeah, well, I have to say, you gave such great advice. Like, as somebody who has no problem crafting up an outfit, I was really impressed with some of the advice you gave people, because it's very common sense when you think about it, but unless you think about it, why would you ever? You know what I mean?
Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, it was very fascinating. I mean, it's the same sensation of when you're on the show. Is you talk and talk and talk and talk on the show, and then you're excited to see like what shows up. And oh wow, I'm glad that they enjoyed. You know, anytime a line of yours gets in, it's like I'm glad they enjoyed that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
you had some really good zingers. You're good at zingers. My favorite thing is when you went over to Muffy's team, and you were like, "Muffy, you have turned crafty materials and made them look into crafty materials." Like, were there any things that really stood out to you in the arts and crafts room, like Tara's bubble shower or the
I
pleated
really like the idea of the bubble shower. I wasn't, it all boils down to execution. I
Yeah.
also really liked, what's her name, Taco, the purple witch.
Rita
Rita Taco.
Taco.
What's her
Well,
name?
we know what we're putting as the little name for Rita this episode.
Rita Taco.
What is her name?
Rita Taro, like a tarot.
Taro, that's it.
She can
Sorry.
sing her brand all season long, and you taco her?
I just watched it for the first time today. I'm trying to retain information here. I really liked what she was doing. That seemed to also, not being familiar with her, it seemed to be outside her wheelhouse. And they seemed to respond to the color, like, oh, you're doing purple? So I'm assuming she's done
pretty.
one.
I had no idea where Dee Dee and Texas were going with that pleated skirt.
Oh, neither were
No.
we. It's crazy. I also love when everyone was done looking at all the outfits. One of the reasons I'm really glad that Rita made hers purple, it was like a full rainbow on stage. There was a predominantly red-orange look, a predominantly purple, predominantly green, predominantly blue.
Yes.
Well, I was also really amazed at like the paper pants shorts like that.
Oh my gosh.
As harrowing as it was for them to wear paper pants, they look fantastic for the length of time. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think we are perfectly at the point where we can just jump into the talent show and start talking about these looks. What do you say?
For real?
Well, before we do that, all the queens got a huge bomb of information.
Yeah, what was the
That
bomb?
not only would one of them be going home, but that one of the queens, whatever queen won the outfit, best outfit, whichever queen helped them was coming back into the competition.
Do you think Vivian heard that, looked into the camera, went, fuck?
If Vivian's team would have won, because would she have just got to pick or roll a dice or something?
I can give some tea down the road or now on what would have happened. Do you want to know?
Sure.
So if Rita had won, the idea was that Rita herself would have gotten to pick which camper comes back.
Okay. Oh, that would have been pretty wild. Ooh.
That would have been wild.
Right, let's get into the talent show. First, on to the talent show stage, we have Tara Newhall coming out in Rub-a-Dub-Dub, the fully realized look. It is with total bubble wrap ensemble, kind of looks like bubbles, a little haphazard, but with this crazy spout that's coming up the top, dripping water in her face, not the best, but silly gags. Her arm is a towel curtain wrap. Mm-hmm. She's got a duck on her butt. So clever.
I wish that if she was using her arm as the curtain rod, that she had painted her arm silver.
Right?
Or something.
Oh, yeah.
Just for the illusion of not being, because I was so impressed. I also wish that those raindrops are from the shower had been on the side like earrings. Because we couldn't see her. But when they came in for the close-up for us, we could see her makeup was running in the shower. But no one in the room could because they were being blocked by them being right in front.
Yeah.
Which I think was unfortunate.
Yeah. I wish that maybe the raindrops were smaller so it would give the illusion that you're looking through the water to see her face. Like as if you would just rip. Like I almost wish she did like the which horror movie is it? Psycho, where rip the curtain and then she turns and just screams.
I think having coleslaw come back and do that would have been much more frightening.
Obviously.
Oh my god.
Can we also just talk about briefly, there's a coleslaw reference right at the end of this episode in the credits, where Clinica is just going off, going like, oh yes, look at the curtains, whoa.
Is that what that was? Oh my god.
Yeah. No, it was just me losing it.
So I thought it was so silly. If I was going to say one little thing I would critique, I think her makeup could have been just a little bit more strong. It just didn't seem to pop through all the stuff she had around her face.
Yeah, she could have done a lot of white highlighting to really make what was happening more obvious.
So How many amps of camp am I going to give this look? I'm going to give it a solid 3, right in the middle.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a solid 4.
Okay, yes.
I think the main dress on the body kind of felt like a little bit of an afterthought, but like, how can you not look at this look and not have a good time seeing it and seeing, especially how reactive Tara is and how much of a performer. I am going to give this one a 4. A 4 amps. It's a Fingerdoo.
Fingerdoo. Moving on to Muffy Vanderbilt III, coming out in this pink bubble wrap dress.
She looked great.
There's not much to say else about this. It's just like a well-constructed bubble wrap dress made in pink bubble wrap, and it's cute and it's nice, and it's got some little pom-poms all over it.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about the scandal now or later?
Well, maybe we should talk a little bit about the scandal about this outfit. It was brought up that Ms. Muffy used a pattern to create this look that they brought with them. And so that was brought up somehow. Somebody mentioned it, who knows who. And Muffy was like, well, I mean, technically we were allowed to use anything that was on our body. And technically the pattern was in her backpack. I don't know, bullshit details. Like, it doesn't matter. Do you think having a pattern was really that big an advantage?
If you can't sew, it's not an advantage.
Yeah, Nika, what do you think? Do you think this was such a dramatic experience? Worth it? Was it worth it?
I mean, I don't think that Muffy had any intention of... Because if the word cheating is being thrown out, then no, I don't think Muffy was cheating at all. Nor do I believe Muffy remotely thought she was. Because if she thought she was cheating, she would have tried to hide the patterns. Because when we were there walking around, they were just out in the open.
I think it's dumb. I think it's really dumb. Like, you can literally take the t-shirt off your back, rip it apart, and you've got a pattern.
That was such a great point.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
And also, I think it's actually a bit of a hindrance to Muffy. Because Muffy comes into this game always looking like to be pristine, and she has a preconceived idea, and I don't think it served her well in this episode at all.
No, she's not very off the cuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was one thing that was brought up that didn't make it into the episode, was specifically the mention of Muffy telling us, I'm going to do something very, very outside the box. And imagine my confusion sitting down at the judges table, having not seen any of Muffy's previous looks. I will say,
like, what?
No matter who you talk to, who was in that room, who was back in the rec room, the story on all sides, there doesn't seem to be a common one. It seems to constantly be changing. And so I felt like I had entered a whole wackadoodle universe. I'm like, who do I trust?
Like, Muffy,
who did what? And then I remembered I wasn't competing, so I didn't care.
Yeah, Muffy didn't just make the pattern on the bus. She made the whole goddamn outfit on the bus and had it in her backpack, and it was already done. She ate a sandwich. She ate a sandwich while we worked the whole time for 3 hours.
And Jacqueline was a plant.
A plant, yes.
And the irony is that she's still, with a pattern, the help of a pattern, made a boring outfit.
Because it's still pretty, I still give Muffy a solid 3 because it's right in the middle, but it's not like going, wow. It's not standout.
To me, this kind of feels like... I'm sorry. To me, it kind of feels like the invert of Tara's outfit, where the concept was very weak, but the construction was very strong. So I think that kind of balances out to... Honestly, for a Crafty Beaver, I'm going to give it a 3.
Okay, Wilma?
Yeah, I'm going to give her a 2, and the reason why is it was a boring outfit that she used a pattern.
That's it.
I would have brought a more interesting pattern.
We've got Ms. Texas 1988 coming out.
Oh, my God.
A structural paper eleganza featuring nature versus the city, with a headpiece and a tree thing coming off the shoulder, and the pleated skirt that we saw, and doing a balletic performance of nature and stuff. I just love this. So
good.
Yeah, I was impressed. I liked the message. I liked the execution. Was very artistic. I actually forgot that it was a unusual materials challenge.
And what I especially loved about this look is that, almost everyone else brought in like a wig to wear, but she's like, I'm not using a wig. That's going to be made out of unconventional material too.
I have to give props to the fact that, using paper rather than the bubble wrap is just a much harder material to work with. And she didn't do the typical Drag Race method of just sticking it to a corset. No, she actually made a dress and a headpiece. Wow.
It was really fun knowing this look's existence. And if you go on the Instagrams and on the social medias and see Dee Dee and Texas both showcasing the processes of each runway and making them, it's like as it was going on and I was watching them, I was like, okay, so that's why that look slapped so hard.
Amps of camp, I give this a straight up 5 amps of camp out of 5.
Yeah.
5 amps of camp.
Yeah.
5, 5, 5. Coming up next, we've got Riley Poppy Seed giving us the paper bag. This reminded me of like the paper bag prints or something like that.
I loved it.
All made out of paper, all orange. Clinica is currently wearing the hat that he had on his head upside down.
I made this myself. You mind your business.
Paper pants, paper vest. It did rip a little bit at the shoulder, but it's paper. Of course it did.
That's amazing that that's all that it did.
Yeah.
I thought for sure it wouldn't make it one turn on the runway.
Yeah.
It did. No. It totally lasted. Yeah. Very impressed.
Beautiful. What do you think, Clinica? Were you proud of your friend?
Yeah, oh my gosh, very so much so. And I think I was inherently worried. Like I said before, making masculine leaning clothes is so difficult. And Riley said, I'm gonna make it out of paper. And I was like, no, don't do that. Oh, beautiful. It was giving like Wizard of Oz Emerald City Guard.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I loved it. It was so cute and good. And my critique that I was giving for a brief moment, there was nothing wrong, is that it was falling off to a very noticeable degree when he was walking.
I'm going to give it a 4. No offense, I really loved it. I really did. But I wish that Riley had taken clear packing tape and taped the paper. Just to give it more structure and more durability.
I also give Riley Poppy Seed a 4. Yeah, because, the unfortunate circumstances happen. But you have to take those into account regardless.
Yeah.
And, and I also even think that he probably could have amped it up just a little bit more. Like some of the details got lost, like his little pocket watch and stuff. They did get lost, unfortunately, but it was very well done.
Oh, absolutely. One thing I wish there was something on the outfit that maybe matched the color of the shoes, or if the shoes maybe had like a layer of paper around them to make them match the rest of the outfit. Because I think if they had like bright orange or red shoes or something that matches what's going on up here, I think it would have tied the whole thing together. Like his feet almost disappeared in the background because of how bright and colorful everything else was. But other than that, I think I'm going to also give Riley Poppy Seed a 4 amps of camp. Like, for a crafting challenge, kudos. Like, I'd wear it.
Yes, you certainly are right now. Finally, coming to the talent show stage, we have Rita Taro coming out in purple Eleganza.
Rita Taco. Look at that, Rita.
Oh, my God.
She looked gorgeous. That wig alone, I want that wig.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
A perfectly fitted see-through purple with the undergarments underneath, which are actually quite flattering, and a cardboard, what do you call it, like thing around her neck.
Collar.
Beautiful hair.
Gosh.
All kinds of magic, mighty swell, purple magic accessories and things she made all over the place. A fascinator, earrings.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I wanted to hate this, but I kind of gagged when she came out. I kind of gagged.
When we were sitting at that table and Rita walked out, I love a crafting look where it comes out and it takes you a moment to remind you that, oh, this is a crafting challenge. What is all of this made of? And it was so cool.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was the least crafty in the most crafty way. Like I was so impressed. I was so impressed.
Like this, I think this one had, next to Texas, some of the most intricate little details on it.
That was the thing. There were a lot of little bits and pieces in there that really helped make it more of an outfit than a construction.
So what do you give this? I give this solid 5 amps out of 5. Good for you.
I give it 5 amps out of 5 as well.
Yeah, me too.
So that is the whole talent show.
Yes.
And Miss Texas and Rita Taro into the top.
Yes. So deserved.
And that means that Muffy Vanderbilt and who's the other one?
Tara Newhall.
Tara.
How can you forget the person you've been accusing of copying you all season long?
Forgettable. Okay, no. The two of them, the reaction shots this episode are so funny. Like, there's reaction shots when they reveal that a hiker's going to come back. Like, it cuts to Muffy just going like, it cuts to Clinica going like, it cuts to the whole cast going like. And Muffy, the whole season has had incredible reaction shots.
Oh my gosh.
Gag. Is always just like looks directly whenever something happens. Muffy turns directly to the camera and is just like,
Listen, I love me a bitch that's baffled by everything.
The winner is Miss Texas HIIIII.
Yes.
I think this is Miss Texas's first win.
For real? Oh my god, it is, isn't it?
And now and then of course that also brings Dee Dee Cumswell back into the competition.
Yes! Oh my gosh. I'm so glad to see it because I don't think her Some Like It Hot look was bad at all. I think it was the unfortunate reality of like someone has to go in this episode. But when she was walking across that bridge, I was like, it's not your time.
But unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to someone, Tara or Muffy. And, well, we're going to have to say goodbye to Muffy Vanderbilt III. Oh, so disappointed.
Wow.
Muffy has been such an amazing character.
For real.
So sad to see her leave, because she was really a real contender, especially after the win last week.
But they're getting to that point now where it's going to get harder and harder.
They had to pick in that moment. What do we prioritize more going into the home stretch of this competition?
The answer at Camp Wannakiki is always which one is campier. So
that's exactly right. And they kept the campier look for sure.
That's it. That's what happened. Yeah. Well, Wilma, we have to get to sacrificing Muffy to the gods of comedy. But before we do that, do you want to shout out to your followers and tell them where to find you?
Well, I have the best followers ever. I'll tell you right now, on YouTube, I'm constantly being praised at how great my group of people are over on YouTube. I'm at 8,500 subscribers. When I get to 10 grand, I'm giving a big giveaway. I'm doing a big giveaway. So if you've never been to my YouTube channel, it's the Wilma Fingerdoo review. If you Google Wilma Fingerdoo, I am the only one that pops up. I'm not the only one out there, but I'm the only one that pops up because I am a superstar. And you can see me at I think it's W Fingerdoo on Instagram. You see, I never search myself out. But if you do Wilma Fingerdoo with 2 O's anywhere, I'm the only one that pops up.
That's the tea. Wilma Fingerdoo. Go check her out. Yeah. Now, we're going to have to say goodbye to Muffy Vanderbilt.
Can we all, at the countdown of 5, have one last Muffy turn to the camera reaction face? 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
We now sacrifice Muffy Vanderbilt to the god of comedy, Rafiki's turn.
New animations by She Need This Gig. She really do.
Hillary. Hope you liked the episode. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you don't, well, we might just have to sacrifice you to the god of comedy.
Do you wanna kiki? Do you want to?
Do you wanna kiki? Do you wanna kiki? Cult Wannakiki, Cult Wannakiki, Cult Wannakiki, 1, 2, 3. Cult Wannakiki, Cult Wannakiki, Cult. Okay, that's enough.
Yeah.